Hi, I've gathered all of you today so you can witness the greatest standoff between humankind and machines.
Who will persevere? Who will be able to fight to the last drop of blood? Who will reach greatness together? Let's find out.
Well, actually it's not the topic and the result is almost obvious, but anyways, you know that ring on your lens? I mean this one. You know what it does? Of course you do. That's a focus ring and everybody knows it. What a dumb question, right? Right. But how often do you use it? I bet there are some among you who are regular manual focus users, but I am also sure that the majority of you rely heavily on autofocus, especially if you are new to the cinematography party. I know that because I used to do the same thing. And who can blame me? It's so easy and so convenient to use, especially the dual pixel autofocus from Canon. It's like magic, right? That thing even detects my face without me doing anything. It is so good. But for those of you who intend to learn narrative style of filmmaking, I have pretty bad news. All of those big budget movies you see, they all done with manual autofocus only. And you can say, of course they are, they have a dude for that called focus puller, but we both know that it's an excuse. We need to master that skill as much as we can. But why, you might ask? Autofocus is a marvelous thing. Why would I need to do this manually instead? Because autofocus has no clue what you want in focus and will shift it to whatever it finds in that white box and when it finds a face. And because most cinema cameras have no idea that autofocus even exists. So just accept the fact that we need to learn that skill. Today I'll cover some methods that are going to help you keep your subject in focus. But first, our standoff. I'm going to compete against autofocus in several tasks. First one is rack focusing. I'm going to shift from one object to another using autofocus and then manually. The second task is following a moving subject. So let's see who's going to win this tournament. For that I will be using two cameras. The autofocus sight is represented by Canon 1DX Mark II that has dual pixel autofocus and face recognition. The manual sight is represented by Blackmagic 6K Pro that allegedly has an autofocus, but it's definitely not usable whatsoever. Now let's start with Canon. All you need to do is to tap an area on your screen that you want to be in focus. It does an awesome job at shifting focus from one spot to another, although it has some delay when I want it to focus at that lamp in the background. But now it's my turn. I didn't use manual stoppers, and after a couple of tries I managed to perfectly land focus on all three subjects. But autofocus does it more consistently, of course. To the next round. Now this toy Kratos is going to move back and forth. My job is to keep it in focus, but first our digital friend Canon. For Canon's autofocus it is a really easy job, provided there is enough contrast in there. And like in the previous round, I managed to do a pretty good job after just a couple of tries. Well, obviously autofocus does a better job than my pass in ideal circumstances, but it doesn't mean that we are going to give up. I'm going to tell you some techniques that will help you hit your focus easier and keep it there. A manual focus like this one has physical stops that will allow you to set them according to your subjects and to hit those focus points quickly and precisely. If you do not have something like this, then obviously repetition is key. Some people recommend learning how to estimate distances, but I have no idea how it's going to help you, provided you're doing everything on your own. Otherwise you have a focus puller and you are not watching this video right now. If you need to follow something or someone, then what you need to do is to decide at what distance you're going to do that. Set your focus and maintain that distance by moving at the same rate as your subject. When you have to approach a subject, then get to your final position. Set your focus and go backwards. thus getting your subject more and more out of focus. Reverse this shot and add a speed ramp if needed. You can't use it all the time, but if done once in a while, it's a cool looking effect. By closing your aperture, you're going to make your life easier by widening that focus plane. And it's best to practice your manual focus this way, saving yourself some nerve cells. The tighter the lens, the narrower the focus plane. For example, when making macro shots, even autofocus freaks the f out not knowing what to do. So in order to make your life easier, choose a wider lens. Of course, this is the main thing that is going to improve your skill. Only practicing often enough is going to help you. Happy filming, and thank you for watching. Bye.